The offerings of cheese pizza and chicken nuggets will be changing, not disappearing necessarily, but changing, thanks to budget decisions the governor made earlier this year to the tune of $100 million. Danny O'Malley, founder of Before the Butcher, with me now live to explain the plant-based options students in the Sacramento City Unified School District will soon be able to choose. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Sinceri. Thank you for having me on.
Definitely. My experience with kids is that when it comes to food, it has to taste good and it has to look good. So you're not getting any of it off their forks if that's not happening. And that's not necessarily what everyone thinks when they think plant-based meat. So how is Before the Butcher going to get kids over that kind of psychological hump? Because these options are going to have to be labeled, right?
That's true. It really is, creating alternatives that the children find familiar, and that could be as simple as a burrito that's made with plant-based ground, similar to a beef burrito. There are other alternatives on there as well that you could do. If it was a salad with chicken on it, you can put plant-based chicken on it. There's a lot of different things that we can do, even to make a pizza. That would be very similar and familiar. And I think that familiarity is really, really important for children, especially when they're trying these type of products.
When they get that final product. Now, with these changes, California will be the first state in the union to designate funds for the supply of vegetarian and vegan choices. How soon will kids get to select some of what you have to offer at the lunch counter?
Well, some of that's happening already. The law takes effect officially on August 1st of next year, but schools are already gearing up for it in Southern California and in Northern California as well, and across the state. So they're looking for ways to make this happen. They have to implement it into their school food system in order to get reimbursed, excuse me, by the state for the plant-based alternatives they're offering. And it is actually bigger than the $100 million that's allocated toward this. It's a $700 million program that involves an additional $600 million that is specifically for the schools to upgrade their facilities to accommodate plant-based, and also to teach and train the people that make the food for the children to understand how to present this in the best way for the children.
I have to ask, I have tried some of the plant-based options at some of the fast food restaurants in our area, but, I have lots of allergies, so it matters to me what the plant is. And a lot of times you pull up and ask, okay, great, this is a plant-based meat option, but what is it? And they can't tell you. So what kind of things are the plant-based options actually going to be made out of that the kids will be getting?
That's really important. That's why the training is so vitally important in the schools, that the people who prepare these meals and the people that serve these meals understand what's in it and what they are serving to the children, because they will be asked not just by the children,
right,
but also by the parents and by the teachers and the administrators. They all want to know what's being served in the food itself. So there may be some allergens that they have to be aware of. And there may be, foods that don't have any allergens as well. It depends on the school district and what they're preparing and what's important as they put these meals on the table for the children to try.
Okay, so we're seeing some of the images from your website. So again, what might some of this be? Is it tofu? What is it?
So our products are actually a non-GMO soybean that we use to prepare and make our products. We do have products also that are soy-free. All of the products we make are gluten-free. These are important things to know, and for the administrators to know, and the people that are preparing these foods to know as well. Many of the foods that are already being served to children have allergens in them.
Right.
And so this should be a common thing that they should already know about the foods that they're preparing and serving to the children today and going forward. And again, it's really important that this law includes a substantial amount of money to train the people to understand this.
A lot of people are concerned about what these options could mean for little people who are still growing and developing. The U.S. Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics states that well-planned vegetarian and also vegan dishes are appropriate for all life stages, including pregnancy, infancy, and childhood. At least one Polish study, though, on the other hand, indicates that children following diets like this end up shorter than their dairy and meat-eating counterparts. What do you have to say to those who are wary of a system like this?
Well, I don't know that study. I wish I had seen it, but I can tell you this. There is plenty of protein, and that's usually the biggest concern is the protein that's within the products that are being served to the children, especially vegan or vegetarian products. There are plenty of protein that matches up quite well with animal-based proteins that are served to the children. So I think this is where the education comes into play and really where we have to create an understanding from the administrators all the way down to the people who are serving the children that the necessary nutrition and protein are in these products. And keep in mind, this is not a 5-day-a-week menu schedule. This is something that's going to be implemented slowly, little by little. It may be a meatless Monday or a Friday that has meatless meals. So that has to be kept in mind too. Variety is really important in all of our diets. And this is part of the variety that we will be offering the children in California.
And a great way in a familiar setting for kids to get to sample some of this stuff instead of mom or dad investing and buying a whole bunch of it at home and it not going over well. They get to try a little bit. Thank you so much for coming in to share with us this morning.
Thank you for having me.